whatever she is about, or very intimately, it also touches me and transforms, of course, something. And I think it's vice versa. There's a lot of respect on both sides, and it's beautiful to have that relationship.
Welcome to Bitch Talk. I'm your host, Erin.
And I'm co-host Ange, aka Captain Party.
And for more than 11 years, the show has celebrated underrepresented voices in pop culture and beyond.
But not in the snore kind of way, which is why our listeners and followers have graciously voted us Best of the Bay, Best Podcast on 48 Hills for 3 years in a row. Three-peat, bitches.
If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram and check out our website, Bitch Talk Podcast, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're begging you to judge us. When does that ever happen? Oh, you're not going to say anything?
What'd I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, on with the show. Clink.
Hey, Bitch Talkers. We are so excited about this documentary. We've been following it for, I think, the beginning of the year at least. The doc's called Peaches Goes Bananas. We're big fans of Peaches. I have the director here who will have introduced herself and talk about the movie.
Hi, I'm Marie Losier, and I'm very happy to be on Bitch Talk, which is very funny with Peaches Goes Bananas. Those are great titles. It's a portrait on Peaches, but it's a portrait on Peaches and Meryl, the double behind the mask. It took 17 years to make the film, so there's, of course, on and off time shooting. It's not like a continual thing, but I think time tells a lot for the film. It tells the narration with the changes of age, body, energy. And it's also a very close relationship between Peaches and her sister, Suri, who really is the one who inspired her to do this performance, to make music, to go for it. And to me, it was very important to make a film that would be able to show with images the feeling of this bomb of energy, what it is to be on stage, what it is to give so much energy, to be alive, to be fully alive as a woman artist. And I think it's a portrait of an artist made by an artist.
Exactly. I love it so much. I've been waiting for this film. Peaches, yes, as Erin said, we've been fans for so long. And she's always been kind of a mystery. Like, I heard once maybe she was a librarian before she became this, like, incredible artist. I just didn't know. There's so much I wanted to know about her. So I just want to know how you first met her and gained access to 17 years off and on.
I met her really by chance because 17 years ago, actually, I really didn't listen to Peaches or knew much at all about her. I didn't even know what she looked like, really. Because when I met her, I was filming with Genesis Peerage and Psychic TV for my first feature film, The Ballad of Genesis and Lady J. And that was the beginning of that film. And we were at a concert venue, and Peaches popped in the hallway with all glitters and very different hair color and style. It was a different time, different group. It wasn't really Peaches that night. And she popped up, and I was filming Jen, and she's like, "What about me? Why don't you film me? Come in my green room." And that's how in the film you can see the first roll of film that I did 2006, which is actually the way and the day I met Peaches. The second part of your question is more how did I keep going? Is like I had no idea I would make a feature or I made a film, but she called me when she was going to New York to see Suri, her sister, and we had coffee. And then, of course, one person who is always on creating and the other one always filming makes a movie when there's a story to tell. And when she took me to meet Suri, I knew there was something that touched me. That wasn't just a film about performances and concerts at all, because she's quite shy and she's not someone who really shows much of the creative process, but more. So when I met Suri, that was the moment I thought there is a story, there's a film to make. And of course, it takes time. It makes because there is no budget, and I make other films during that time, and I had full time jobs, and life took time because Peaches sometimes had things, sometimes not. Sometimes was there, sometimes not. So I just and same thing for me. So it took that time.
I'm so glad you brought up her sister. I want to talk about those scenes with her sister and how special they are. Um, and intimate. Can you talk about filming those and how you decided which pieces to use?
Was the moment I met Suri, she was playing with me. Um, she was so alive, so playful, so musical. And then when I saw how Peaches was with her, I was very touched. And it didn't occur to me. It's just very fast. She was like, "Why aren't you filming? Film us. Go for it." It was part of the game. Everything was happening in that one room. The nurse were dancing and cooking. Peaches was talking about her hair. Suri was singing. So filming was just one extra thing. And she loved when we would come visit because of course she didn't have that many visits, so I came many times that way, and she was already always ready to play. I mean, when you have that life, you want to play with it. um, so that's how it became so intimate also, and in relationship with me and Peaches.
Mm.
I also am really glad you got her parents in the film. They are so lovely and so supportive. And I was just thinking, like, how precious it is for Peaches to have this little snapshot of life with them as well. So, can you talk about working with her parents on film and also just sort of her reaction to the film? It's so special.
The reaction to her film was very beautiful. First of all, I'm thankful to her because she was so patient. 17 years is long, and she did not bother me or bother the film. She kept going whenever we shot, so I'm very grateful to that. And I edited the film with the editor without bothering her either, and she loved the results. She was crying
Mm.
when we showed it in Venice. It was very moving. Of course, the parents are there, stories there. The time tells also so much changes and stories. And the parents, her mom is still alive and she's in Canada. They were very lovely. They were just like in the film. It felt natural to film them also because they've seen it all and they've always been there.
Yeah.
They literally.
And I think
Mm.
I was quite sweet next to whatever was happening around. So they were excited. They were like, "Oh, someone making a film with Peaches and Suri, our two daughters." So it
Mm.
was very natural. They were very fun. I loved the father.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the look and feel of the film, especially at the beginning. There's just like a texture to it, and the font and the color. I was drawn in immediately, and then I did a little research on you. I'm like, oh, of course she's an artist also. Like it brought me in. So can you talk about being an artist on the outside and also being a filmmaker and bringing those two things together? Because they're not always the same thing at all.
No, I mean, most people don't know I'm drawing and doing ceramics and stuff. And then some people know I'm only doing that and don't know much about my films. Mostly they know about the film and not the drawings and stuff. But it's always been there. I came from fine arts and it was painting. So there's something also by the fact that I'm filming on celluloid. It's 16 millimeter film. I loved it right away because it was texture and it was grains and it was movement and it was depth and it was colors. So I'm very attached to that part of filmmaking, which is not just a story or filming, but I'm doing the camera, I'm doing all the titles. There's something alive, a choice of colors, titles, fonts. Everything has a matter to me. So
Mhm.
it's one object and not just film.
I could tell.
It definitely shows. Yeah, it gives it a whole new life, like Aaron
Mhm.
said, completely. And as you know, as a documentary filmmaker, oftentimes the edit room is just where the nightmare and the hard work really begins. But I can't imagine how fun it was for you to edit that "Fuck the Pain Away" montage. Can we just talk about like that? Must have been real fun. Come on.
You know what? That one is an archive.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So credits to the archive.
But you
And
got
it
to
was
see a lot of
really
those performances also. So,
I really loved it. I always wanted to dance when I see this part.
It
Same.
is. It brings
So
so much joy.
energetic.
Well, we didn't tell her yet, Erin. We're going to see her in March in San Francisco.
For the
Erin's first
new
time seeing
album.
her
It's
live.
my first Peaches. I'm still a virgin, so this
Yeah.
Wow,
and
that's gret.
So I'm
yeah,
taking her for her birthday because I was like, we must go to church, the
yeah.
Church of Peaches.
That's wonderful.
I have to ask you, and I don't know if you have. Well, you've been with her for 17 years on and off. I'm assuming you have a little bit of tea to spill, but the costumes and the staging. Can you talk about? I feel like she's the one who's the architect of that. But can you talk about even just, yeah, the costumes, all of it?
The costumes are not mine because, of course, her costume are already there and they've done mostly by Charlie Lemandieu and other people Peaches has been working. So for me, it was about identifying a few costumes that I love, that I wanted to use because they're not just costumes for me, they're also performance costume. They're made to move, to change, to appear, disappear, be like a performance. Um, and I wanted those to be in the film, so that's also why I created this little vignette of fiction where she's dancing on a black background or doing just the head necklace or the
Yeah.
cake scene, like where also the costumes and the props takes another life than the documentary.
Yes, I'd love the overall message of this film being sort of like just because we're menopausal doesn't mean we're not still punks and still artists, and we still need people to relate to too. I really love that message so much because when we grew up in the 80s and the 90s, being famous and being a rock star looked one way, it didn't look realistic, and proud. So I just love that overall message. What
Me
what have you
too.
well, yes, obviously you do. Thank you for really pushing that through. But what have you gained from working with Peaches as a fellow artist?
Well, I think every time I make a film, it's so many years also, and so involved in the life and work of a person emotionally, that you gain to understand even deeper certain ways of thinking, process of creating, world around the person. It's like being a detective into an intimate and creative life of another artist. So whatever she is about or very intimately, it also touches me and transforms, of course, something. And I think it's vice versa also. There's a lot of respect on both sides, and it's beautiful to have that relationship. So
Hmm.
Marie, before we close, are you two thinking about doing like an exhibition or anything?
no, I think Beaches is so, that's why it was hard to make the film. She's so busy doing her own work,
Yeah.
that is really tough. I think we're gonna do one performance concert that I'm supposed to do the mise en scène in 2026 in France, in Nantes, in a music concert. So it's
Mm.
like I would do the mise en scène for her songs, but she won't be working with me much. She's kind of like I get people and she pop in
Oh,
and she's too busy.
yeah. No, I'd love to see an exhibition with her costumes through the years. That would be amazing.
Hmm.
I think there's been here and there, I think in Hamburg or something like this, but I've
Mm.
never seen one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm dropping a little seed.
I got it.
Noted.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you, Marie. The movie's called Peaches Goes Bananas. We love this film. We love Peaches. And now we love Marie. So thank you so much for being on Bitch
Thank
Talk.
you so much to both of you, and see you soon.
Thanks for joining us on today's show. You can find more information about this episode in our show notes.
If you're missing us, you can visit us at bitchtalkpodcast.com to sign up for our newsletter and buy us a cup of coffee.
Did you know we're also on the radio? You can find us at bff.fm.
And lastly, rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. All the cool bitches are doing it.